After the recently released episode 7 of Murder Drones Mass Destruction, I've been seeing this opinion going around that Doll is a wasted character. This honestly is completely untrue, and the people who think this don't understand your character in the slightest. Doll is a character that is undoubtedly a fan favorite, and spoiler alert by the way, in episode 7 she is killed off by what fans have called many things, but my personal favorite is Sin Walker. Which is Sin, or the Absolute Solver, hiding in Tessa's body. She is then used as a tool to get Uzi to freak out, and after the fight, her core is eaten, meaning she's likely gone for good, and can't come back like Nori did, in the form of like a core heart spider thingy. Now, while her death was definitely unneeded, and definitely should have been handled better, and could have, as Doll had the potential to be way more. And I know many wanted her to become a hero, which, I don't know, I don't really think that, I don't think that would work. I'm gonna explain why later. But I would rather have had her died, like, maybe, and towards the end of episode 7 after doing something, or in episode 8. But I'm gonna make this very clear. I'm not saying she couldn't have been handled better. I'm saying she was not handled as poorly as people are saying, and definitely not a wasted character. To explain why this is the case, we need to delve deeper into who Doll is, and what made her work in the first place. Doll is a worker drone who is the daughter of Yeva, the only one of the test subjects in Cabin Fever Labs that was completely patched of the Absolute Solver, giving her complete control over it. Due to this, Doll was born with the Solver 2, and has incredible control over it, probably due to her mother. She is shown to not be patched, as shown as how she is looking for the patch to cure herself. Now, what made her such a good character in the first place is how she was a darker version of what Uzi could have been if she pushed others away and let the grief consume her. Let's look at Uzi's connection with N, right? Despite being a disassembly drone, N it was nice, I guess, and Uzi let herself get close to him, and they ended up being there to protect each other. Uzi had no friends and was always willing to make more, despite her general angst, as shown with Dad, N, and sort of eventually V. Doll was popular and seemingly got along well with the other kids, especially Lizzie. Despite this, she was always pushing them away, and even murdering them just for herself, and her own selfish desires. She never thought of anyone else. When Lizzie steps into Warren V, she is thrown out the window like a piece of trash, and Doll cuts ties to her. Though Lizzie is far from innocent and is kind of a jerk to be fair, but nonetheless she kept trying to get revenge on V for murdering her parents when she was a kid. She went as far as to murdering all her classmates that were candidates for prom queen, so that V could get prom queen, so that she could go up on stage and she could have a perfect opportunity to take her out. She's not an innocent character, and you know, that's kind of what made her work, you know? She let her trauma consume her, and that's what led to her demise. Look at Uzi. She was about to be killed by Tessa but was saved by N, the disassembly drone that Uzi let herself get close to. Doll had no one there for her. She didn't have anyone left to protect her or care about her, and so there was no one there to save her when Tessa found her and killed her. This is what Uzi could have been if N wasn't there for her. And that's why Doll died, because she let herself get lost in her. She let herself get lost in her emotions, and her grief, and her anger. And that's what ended up being her fault for pushing everyone away. Her death was her fault. While Uzi got to live because N saved her, she died because she had no one. People saying she was wasted don't understand what made her who she was in the first place. That being said, she could have been handled better. She could have been turned around and let others help her, and together with everyone else she could have helped take down the Solver, which, as you can see now with how I am portraying her character, I don't think that would have worked. I don't think that Doll was the kind of person to just turn around just like that. It would have made no sense. Maybe if there was a reason for her to start getting help and trusting, like maybe if there was something that happened and she realized it was the only way, then maybe I could see that working, but in those circumstances, no. Her death was definitely a little bit unnecessary, at least that early on into the episode, and I wish we got more of her because her character was honestly really interesting. However, I do think her death was not a bad one, and a wasted character is going way too far, because her death was representative of who she was, and her character flaws. But what do you think? Do you disagree with me? Tell me why in the comments below. I will read them all and maybe respond to them too. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe, it helps a lot. That's gonna be all for this video. Thanks for watching and catch you later.